With GCSE Results Day coming up in a few days, I thought I'll just give my perspective into things of how you should approach the day. I'm making this video just to serve as a bit of assurance that, at the end of the day, it's a big moment, however, it's not a defining moment. So, from a personal point, it was last year, the day before Results Day, and this is what I felt like. My exams didn't go awful, but they didn't exactly go as I planned, and due to this, I thought I wasn't going to get the grades I was aiming for. I was kind of preparing for the worst, and doing so, actually expecting the worst. However, I'm happy to say that the results worked out in the end. Results Day this year is on the 20th of August 2026, which gives you just under a month before you start sixth form or your alternative. Now, due to the fact that you're just watching this video, I can safely classify you for Type 2. Type 1 is the person who never tried in class, always bunking, never did the work, just basically came to class to mess about. They're basically not going to be bothered about their results, and therefore the day before, some of them won't even know it's Results Day. They're the type who are just going to be carefree, and henceforth they are not going to be worried about the results. And then Type 2, which includes me, is the ones who are worried about the results the day before. Now, I'm not saying you're going to get exceptionally high grades, but it means you care, and at the end of the day, that's all that matters. And due to that, you're going to have pressure, and that's the pressure that's causing you to be nervous, because you have such high expectations for yourself relative to where you actually are. So not necessarily all nines, but due to the fact that you care about your grades, you want the best for yourself. And due to the uncertainty factor, until you open up that envelope and look at your results, the pressure to see how you did will be there because you actually care. Regardless of whether you get good or not good results, I want to point out that me personally doing A-levels have noticed that my class is a cohort of mixed ability, unless you go to a very competitive sixth form or college, which basically is for all 9 students, then this will probably resonate with you, because my college and my classes have been relatively mixed ability, ranging from grades 5 to 9. So even though I got a couple of 9s, there were people who were getting 4s and 5s, maybe a bit higher, and they were in my class. Now that might seem a bit of a weird concept to you, seeing how they're set in secondary school of very narrow abilities. However, the irony here is some of those who achieved a lower grade at GCSEs are performing higher than me, which goes to show that GCSEs are not an indicator of A-levels and, for that matter, life. And that leads to my next point. Year 12 and Year 13, hence your A-levels, are greater than Year 11 and your GCSEs. I kid you not, people will not remember what GCSEs you got in a month. For those who worked incredibly hard, myself included for GCSEs, don't be too disheartened by that. Enjoy the day on Thursday, because you did earn it. However, don't expect this to be dragged along for the next whole year, because everyone forgets about your results. Because A-levels, university applications, and degree apprenticeships will become the focus. Speaking of A-levels, I want to thank Starnote for giving me a free lifetime subscription of their note-taking app. For anyone taking any of the subjects, such as maths, further maths, economics, and the sciences, and many more subjects that require any form of note-taking, you're probably planning on buying an iPad, a stylus, or something similar. And one thing that you will also have to look at is a note-taking app. Now for Android, your mileage may vary, and for iOS, you do have your note-taking app by default. However, Starnote goes above and beyond, and is much more personalized, and the developers are always working on new features, which makes it stand out from the competition. Better still is a lifetime subscription. Here are some photos showcasing the use of Starnote, and this is all done within the app. For a price of just £5.50 at the time of recording, however due to local exchange rates can vary between £5 and £7, this is a one-off payment and it's for life. It's not a subscription, it's cheaper than Netflix for 1 month. It's half the price, under half the price. That's how cheap it is. And if you're not quite convinced yet, I absolutely understand. I, just like you, am a broke student. So there's 10 free notebooks upon downloading the app, so you'll be able to have a test to see if the note-taking app is right for you. And to know the difference between the Pro and free membership, the free membership has everything in the Pro except that you're restricted to just 10 notes. So you could do 10 past papers and have a go and see if the note-taking app is right for you. Thanks to Starnote again for giving me the pro membership. Back to some last minute advice. Again, as all my videos say, please sleep. Sleep is very underrated, and the day before of all days you will need to get the best sleep, because you are going to have to make some decisions on results day. Not necessarily once you open your results, but definitely on the day or later on. So you want to be in a good state of mind. And another thing is you're going to want to have someone you trust, either a good friend, your parents, or a teacher that you have a good relationship with. You don't necessarily have to talk to them, but it's good to have someone in mind that you want to speak to in case the results are unexpected. Whether you want to open it alone or with someone around you, regardless of whether you did good or not, you need to speak to someone. You need to let out either the joy of your hard work, or you need to discuss if things didn't go so well, what you need to do next. So for most year 11s, that will definitely be the last video you watch of mine. It's been a great pleasure to teach you guys, and this is the first year I've had my YouTube channel. So thanks for everyone involved, year 10s, 11s, and just anyone in general. And I'll see you next year for the next cohort.